begun. This is going to be game 3 with Lucky versus BoxeR. The map is tiled rim altar. 3, 2, 1. The players have begun loading. We have begun loading. This is going to be an intense match. BoxeR is on the verge of being eliminated. So is Lucky. If BoxeR wins this game, he will go on in this tournament. And the players have now spawned. The match is ready to go. So here is FXO's Lucky. The blue Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner. Make some noise for Lucky. And in the top left-hand side of the map, we have none other than the Terran Emperor himself, all the way from South Korea, Slayer's BoxeR.
Now, Tal'Darim Altar could be a rough map for BoxeR. This map certainly has Zerg-favored statistics in this matchup. It's just such a big map, so many options for expansions for the Zerg, and also the midfield on this map is just so wide open. It's just free grazing territory for the Zerg. He can flank, he can set up traps, and then also there's a lot of dead free space on this map for mutas to roam around. It's hard to keep track of where the mutalisks are exactly. And your bases are so far spread. Your natural and your third are very far apart.
Let me give you guys some credit, Mr. Terran player. We do have a great spawn here for BoxeR. He has got the north to south spawn, which is going to give him a direct line for tanks and marines to set up on what we as casters like to call the sweet spot right underneath the natural expansion, as you guys can see right here. If he can position some tanks there, some tanks and some marines, he can start to shell that mineral line and the gas of the Zerg player, and it can be a very difficult situation for Zergs to deal with.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw BoxeR contour his build based on these spawns, get some early tanks, get some early combat, shield marines, maybe quick stim, who knows, but getting to that position is oh so important. Sometimes you'll even see players, I'll even pull a few extra SCVs and drop some bunkers around that territory. I mean, if you can hold down that spot, you're almost guaranteed to kill the Zerg natural. Now, some Zergs will actually expand and take a third and a fourth and eventually just sacrifice their natural and not even deal with you while you're in that position. They'll wait for you to push farther and then just try and crush your push without sustaining losses.
I'm actually a big fan of spreading that creep immediately. As soon as you get your second queen or your first queen even, get it over to the natural and start to spread the creep downwards from the ramp, or not from the ramp, but downwards on the cliff rather than from the ramp. And we've already seen Lucky do that a few times. We saw him do it in Shakura's Plateau. It would not surprise me to see him do it again here on Tal'Darim Altar.
Yeah, same opener here from BoxeR, and he is just going to play as standard as can be right now. Still no command center down for him just yet, and Lucky doing the exact same thing as well. So interesting. I think BoxeR actually might be able to get those Hellions in there before Lucky is fully prepared. Lucky does not have a spine crawler going down just yet. I think he's going to build one here in a second. And there we go. There's the first spine crawler coming down for Lucky.
Gosh, do you think we might see a quick starport here out of BoxeR, Pain User? Because if he can get that medevac out, he can start to sight the high ground and elevate Marines onto the natural as well.
I think BoxeR actually gassed first this game because he doesn't have his CC yet. And I was not paying attention to that. I was watching Lucky, but pretty sure he did. So these Hellions are going to get in there earlier than you would expect. But Lucky seems to be ready to deal with this. He's going to have that super early spine crawler up. He already has a queen right there. He has Lings in position to block these Hellions from making their way in.
I'm pretty sure he will be able to hold this off. The queen is off the creep right now, but of course queens are quite resilient to fire, and the Hellions are going to be repelled away for now. Lucky doing pretty good so far, hasn't taken any damage this game. These 4 Hellions on the map are quite early they have been, but they haven't really been able to do much damage. For now, they will control the Xel'Naga Tower in the center between the Terran and the Zerg base, which is extremely critical. At the same time, we do have Lucky coming in here with the Scouting Overlord, and I love how he's placing the Overlord on this little plateau that is just specially made for Overlords, man. This is the Overlord love spot, and eventually Terran players will find it out. They'll lift the building and pop off that OV, but it's a great spot for scouting.
He's also going to get a timing on the natural here. See that it's a little bit late. BoxeR getting such early stim this game, way earlier than previous games.
Looks like the Overlord is going to probably get popped off unless Lucky wants to go ahead and move it over to that ledge, but he's not going to do that. He's going to go ahead and incur a bit of a supply deficit for now. Not entirely sure why he didn't just run it up to the ledge and keep it alive for a little longer, but
he might actually get it over this ledge. It's
no
gonna be
way.
close.
No, he's not.
That was pretty close. That Overlord was running for dear life there. Not quite able to make a quick starport out of BoxeR here. That's pretty interesting.
I was mentioning that before. Do you think we might see that quick starport? Because on this map, as we said before, that early medevac so important to scouting the high ground.
He has so many Hellions right now.
And we have Roaches coming out here for Lucky, so he's going to follow this up with some Roach aggression. Lings have made their way inside the main. They've done a full scout off, so now Lucky knows exactly what BoxeR's up to. It certainly looks like BoxeR wants to get that quick medevac out so he can start to harass the Zerg Natural at that low ground position. But with the Roaches that Lucky has preconditionally got out, I think that Lucky should be able to deal with the Hellions and the Marines quite easily. And let's not forget, there are no tanks here, no tank support whatsoever for BoxeR.
I think Lucky actually already had an idea of what BoxeR was up to. He produced all those Roaches, and you know, he saw so many Hellions out on the field.
Wow.
These Roaches are actually going to do substantial damage here. BoxeR might be forced to lift his natural. He's following this up with additional speedlings here.
My goodness.
BoxeR could be in a spot of trouble here. He does not have... his Hellions are actually trying to break through the front right now. They're not back at the main, and there are so many units barreling down on his main right now. BoxeR in so much trouble here.
Yeah, this is quite bad for BoxeR. He tries to get a Marauder out right now. Looks like combat shields will probably not be finished either. Hellions have come back inside, but the SCVs are now combating the Lings. There are no Hellions inside the main to save them, and the SCVs are beginning to go down. Meanwhile, the Roaches have begun to engage, and it looks like BoxeR may have enough to barely eke out a survival here, but he certainly took heavy losses with 20 SCVs that have gone down already, with more Lings beginning to flood in as well.
Yeah, these additional Lings probably not going to do too much damage. He has enough Hellions to hold these off. Wow. But down to 10 SCVs right now. BoxeR needs to start microing those SCVs. He just lost an additional 10 right there for no reason to those Lings. He's muling up here. He's going to start to produce SCVs, but down to 8 Harvesters versus the 30 of Lucky. And that's certainly not a position you ever want to be in against the Zerg.
Yeah, that was a quick, decisive strike by Lucky. And unfortunately for BoxeR, he didn't have control of the tower. He was moving out at the same time. Neither forces saw each other. And as a result, BoxeR ended up losing a lot more. His Hellions were just not in position to deal with the Lings that were inside his main. And that's quite unfortunate for him. He's at 10 Harvesters now under 30. There are Banelings that are beginning to morph in the middle of the map. So it looks like Lucky, rather than taking that traditional macro style, while you're ahead, get further ahead, he wants to go for the juggler and he wants to go for the kill right now.
He certainly does. Going to use these additional Roaches and Banelings to try a Baneling bust here at the natural, and I think he actually has more than enough. He can certainly take out that bunker, and with these additional Roaches, might just be able to outright kill BoxeR here. BoxeR trying to slowly crawl his way back into this game. He is back up to 16 Harvesters.
Oh my goodness.
If he can hold this, he will certainly be back in the game. The bunker goes down, a few additional Hellions go down, and the Banelings are getting so cost effective right now, taking out a ton of units, and BoxeR just has nothing to deal with these Roaches. He has no Marauders out right now.
SCVs are beginning to go down right now. He really doesn't have any units to deal with the Roaches at all. All the SCVs are starting to be picked apart. There are still 10 alive on the map, most of them being inside the main. The Lings, though, are going to quickly try to lower that SCV count to the bare minimum, but it looks like BoxeR keeping most of his SCVs alive here. He's still down to 9. He's getting his Hellions in the back of the mineral line, but look at the continual flood of Zerg units on the map. It looks like Lucky is certainly going to get this kill here, Ping User.
Yeah, Lucky is a shark in the water, and he smelled blood, and he just went for it right there. That's actually very rare. Lucky knocks BoxeR out of the tournament.
Yep.
But still, let's give it up for BoxeR for making his way down here from South Korea and participating in IPL 3 Origins.